Indian classical music is being like taught essentially.
So how did you get down the path to learn how to play all these different instruments? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I picked up sitar,
Is it you go out to just try to find a new interesting sound for your sets and your recordings, or is it just happenstance, like you just stumble across this?
Yeah, it kind of morphs. So 2-3 years ago, I was like really big into like the drum circle scene in Houston. That's when it was like super like pretty alive and popping. So every Wednesday night, you bring your little collection out and drum. It was a kind of an open gathering space, open jam, but could only be drums.
All percussion.
Yeah, and so there was that big collaboration of like different influences of like cultures, and Houston is just as big of a melting pot as New Orleans culturally, maybe not historically, but like a lot of Latin influences and everything else mainly. And so like being able to like be in between, I have a lot of roots in Louisiana and very well connected with people that I know in New Orleans. I'm blessed to be in New Orleans quite often, but it's a completely different sound. It's a different beat. My mentor in New Orleans, he was teaching the uptown beats, and as downtown, as uptown. So bringing that back to a drum circle in Houston, which is very Latin based, and they expand upon that, African and some Cuban. Bringing that kind of New Orleans feel into that circle, morphs the whole night into something different that everybody else can communicate and flow on. And then, we go back when we try, take that Latin influence to New Orleans, which is already musically 10 times the melting pot that Houston is. And so it's just a good like transferring of like, this is piquing an interest, and then that for me transforms into this sound is missing in this community. And I was in Houston, so like there was no real Indian influence until